what are your thoughts about playing at Ohio State?
What are your recollections?
Is there a different feeling around this game?
The opportunity that you have personally to go back
What
home.
is an Ohio football player? What does that mean to you?
It's just a great opportunity to go back home.
If you live in Northeast Ohio, a lot of people actually went to Ohio State. They've grown up as Buckeye fans. We do get a lot of, we hope Penn State wins every game except for one.
Medina, Ohio is a sports-centric town where fans support the Cleveland teams and a certain college program that plays in Columbus.
My team was Ohio State when I was growing up. That's what people do in Ohio. They root for Ohio State.
Football and family defined Drew Allar's childhood. He was especially close and looked up to his cousin Blake, who was 10 years older and played high school football in the next town over.
Blake loved football just like Drew did. They had a special bond. Drew at that time was just playing flag football, and Blake would come and watch Drew play. And I remember hearing Drew talk to his teammates and saying, you know, that's my older cousin Blake. He plays football for Brunswick. He's a really good linebacker.
In June of 2012, Blake had just completed his junior year of high school when he and 4 other friends were out driving.
Blake was hanging out with his best friends. They were just goofing around, and they were driving across a railroad track, but was just driving a little bit too fast and hit the railroad tracks at a bad angle, and Blake was sitting in the front passenger seat. And by the time emergency services got there, it was already too late.
Blake Barczyk died on June 3rd, 2012. He was just 17 years old. Of the 5 people in the car that night, only 1 survived the accident.
Just the first time I really experienced anything like that. It was just life-changing at that time just because of how young I was.
He definitely struggled. When you lose somebody that young, it's unimaginable. I'll never forget just how it sucks the life, the very air out of the room.
I looked up to him a lot just because of how much he meant to me growing up, and, you know, I just want to make him proud.
It took away the memories he would make. Like I know he would have loved to have Blake watch him play football.
This is Drew Allar, one of the best high school quarterbacks in the country.
In the decade following Blake's death, Drew earned high school All-America honors and was named Ohio's Mr. Football in 2021.
Going to the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown!
That recruiting season, the in-state Big Ten team had already committed to a different quarterback. So the kid from Ohio went off to make a name for himself at Penn State.
At the end of the day, I did what was best for me, and I truly believe that in my heart that, you know, I was meant to come here.
Allar waits, end zone, caught, touchdown, and the Nittany Lions cash in the takeaway.
For Drew Allar, he says going home isn't about facing the team he grew up rooting for. It's about the people there who have always rooted for him and the cousin who no longer can.
When he thinks of home, he thinks of Blake. I can't even imagine what it would have been like to have Blake sit in the stands.
It puts perspective for me just because at the end of the day, I know I'm a football player, but it's not everything to me in life. Just cherish everything, no matter how big it is or how small it is, just because everything can definitely be gone in a second.
Give me something I can feel. Let it take